Member for Bateman.
Acting Speaker, thank you very much. My grievance today is to the Minister for Planning, and it relates to the failure by the City of Melville to deliver public open space at 13 to 15 the Esplanade and 64 Kitson Road, Mount Pleasant, which I'm going to refer to from now on simply as the Esplanade. I thank the Minister for taking this grievance and also for his strong interest and support for the provision of public open space within the Canning Bridge activity precinct area. And in fact, I note your very strong record on public open space across Perth and Western Australia. By way of background, at the April 2023 ordinary meeting of Council, Council resolved forthwith to progress conversion of 100% of the site at 13 the Esplanade and 64 Kitson Road, Mount Pleasant, to public open space. At the July 2023 ordinary meeting of Council, Council resolved to adopt a consultation, development and completion plan, with this presented to Council to be presented at the February 2024 ordinary meeting of Council. And importantly, to provide funding for construction to commence immediately on approval with a proposed completion date by December 2024. Now, this is important because this motion, or this decision by Council, very clearly sets the expectation that the community has that this public open space would be delivered promptly and at the earliest opportunity. The City sought Council's endorsement of the concept design to progress at the May 2024 ordinary meeting of Council. Council voted against supporting the concept design and budget 6 votes to 5. So that is, the City of Melville Council decided not to fund the decision that it had adopted earlier in April the year before. This was despite the officer's recommendation to support the park and also despite the early decision that I referred to in April of 2023. And I say again, the decision was to forthwith progress conversion of 100% of the site at the Esplanade. So what changed from that April 2023 decision to May 2024? Well, in between then, there was local government elections held in October. And it was really interesting to note that prior to those local government elections, there was all support for public open space. Many of the candidates went out and put on record their support for delivering more public open space, and particularly within that Canning Bridge precinct area. Now, I can't speak for the individual motivations of those councillors who voted against funding the park in May this year, but I will note that leadership is about action, and trust is about doing what you said you were going to do. So the councillors who voted against this decision, that is, they did not approve the funding for the delivery of the park at the Esplanade, were Mayor Katie Mayer, Councillors Woodall, Robbins, Hong, Spanbrook and Green. Councillor Terry Lee was excused due to a declared conflict of interest, and Councillor Wheatland was absent from the decision. These councillors have failed to uphold their own council decision, and they have failed to reflect the clearly articulated wishes of the community to deliver on this public open space. Now, as a member for Bateman, I know how important public open space is to my community, and I know this for a number of reasons. We rezoned, that is, the former Minister for Planning, Minister Safiotti, rezoned public open space in the community following a very strong localised and organic campaign for 13 state-owned parks. Now, this rezoning was to turn it back into public open space, but it had been zoned residential by the former City of Melville and the former Barnett government. Verge Trees in Kintail Road was another strong community campaign that I've led, and I have the support of the current Minister for Planning to go through the process to ensure that those verge trees will be protected. And then, of course, in relation specifically to this issue, we had 2,797 signatories that were put together by the Melville City Climate Action Network, calling for the City of Melville to fund the delivery of this park at the Esplanade. Now, that's 2,797 signatories across the City of Melville area, not just locals who directly benefit from the park. Because I know from my work making phone calls and door knocking regularly, which is what I do, I'm out and about in my community all of the time. I've received support from people from Winthrop, from Burragoon, all parts of my electorate who recognise the critical role of public open space and who know that the provision of this space at the Esplanade site is really important. Now, I want to read, ahead of the council decision in May, I did write to the Mayor and copied in the councillors to that letter. Because of the petition, there was concern that the council wasn't going to fund this decision. And this is what I said in May. Public open space provides significant benefits for local amenity, physical and mental wellbeing, reduces urban heat islands and supports biodiversity and habitat for local flora and fauna. Access to quality, safe and usable public open space is even more important in areas of increased density and urban infill, such as the Canning Bridge Activity Centre Plan area. Density and urban infill can enhance public open space and improve local amenity. However, this must be planned for and prioritised. The City of Melville's Council's endorsed review and submission of the CBACP identifies the provision of 2 new parks at the Esplanade and at Morrow Mews. The Western Australia Planning Commission will assess the new CBACP with the understanding, provided by the City, that there will be public open space at these locations. A failure by the Council to deliver on this has the potential to undermine the community's confidence in the City of Melville in relation to not only Canning Bridge, but also other activity centre plans. End of my quote. Now, I'm running out of time, so I do want to acknowledge the very important community groups who are advocating along with me. That is the Melville City Climate Action Network, City of Melville Residents and Ratepayers Association, former councillor Margaret Sanford and current councillors Ross, Lim, Barber, Edinger and Fitzgerald, who supported the funding motion. Thank you very much, Minister, for taking this grievance today, this matter of importance to my community.
Minister for Lands.